Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. Today we are switching gears. I am switching from a large format gel plate, which is a 16 inch by 20 inch, to a smaller one. I call this a medium format gel plate, which is 12 inches by 14 inches, or in centimeters, 30.48 centimeters by 35.56 centimeters. And the first thing I will do is show you how to get the image to fall in the same place. Or in printmaker's language, it's called registration. So what I do is decide where I want the image to be. Now I want it very slightly higher than the center because I want to leave room for my signature and the number and the date. That is customary with printmaking. You usually sign your name, the artist's name, or whatever title you want to do. And if it's untitled, you can mark it untitled. You place your number here. In my case, since I'm doing monoprints, it's 1/1. Now, if I were doing editions, an edition is a series of prints that are all the same. I can do it 1/3 or 1/10 if there are 10 of the same print in existence. So I will place this ever so slightly above. I'm kind of eyeballing it. And this is my paper, which you can buy. This is already pre-cut. This is 15 inches by 22 inches. Just to make sure, this is 12 by 14. So I'm eyeballing this and centering it so it's 1.5 inches on both sides. And this is 3.5. This is 4, so there's 1/2 inch discrepancy. The 1/2 inch here is for the signature and the date and title if you so desire. So I will just mark 1.5, 1.5. This is 3.5. And this is 4. So just to make registration a little easier, I will measure out these numbers. So this is where the image will be. This is a 12 by 14 image. Now that we have the measurements correct, we will proceed to doing the registration bars. So I have here some molding which is L-shaped. I like this L shape because the paper fits right on the corner. You can also use a plain wood molding, but I like this L shape. So what I do first is decide where I want the paper to be, and then first of all I will find the middle. 7.5 is the middle, so this is the center line right there. So on my molding I have a tick mark, which is a center line. I will make sure that these coincide. Okay, so every time I lay the paper, it will always be in the middle. And then have the same thing here. Okay, so every time I take my paper, I'm ready to print, I just line these up like so. Now these I will stick this to my printing table with this stuff. I like these glue dots. You can use double stick tape, you can use hot glue. Now this table I found on the street, so I'm not so much concerned about messing it up, but for demonstration purposes I want to keep the table as clean as possible. So I'm going to use my glue dots and place the glue dots. I just need a few, maybe like 4 pieces. They are very sticky. And by using the glue dot, I make sure that this registration stick or molding doesn't shift around when I'm printing. Okay. So I just make sure this is lined up like so. And I will do the same with this. There, so this is not moving, this is not moving. There we go. So the next part is to take the plate and center the plate to fit in this box. I'm gonna cut this open and it becomes a bib as well. I think this is easier. So now I can line up the plate by just dropping it into this window. I think that's more or less. Like I said, since this is a jelly plate, it's not perfectly straight, but you just get the average. There. So every time I take a piece of paper that is this measurement, I'm going to get the image exactly on this spot. And this is going to happen every single time as long as you have the same measurement of paper. This way, when you're doing layers, it doesn't matter how many layers you do, 10, 20 layers, it will always be in the same place. So that is called registration. It's just a fancy word for keeping your layers in the same place with the help of strict measurements. So now that I got that out of the way, let's start printing and have some fun. Okay, everybody, here we are at the fun part of this video. I have here my collage material, and as you can see, I do have a lot to work with. So what I want to do, here's my bib, and here's the paper. I'm going to use the bib as a guide for the borders of the plate. And I will compose some So I will start with 3 elements of collage, and the intention is to put the collage down and then print on top of it. So technically you can call it a sheen collé, because that's the definition of sheen collé, is printing over very fine tissue paper, which is this. So I will proceed to mount this with my Mod Podge. So the bib performs 2 functions. It defines the printing area, and it's also a shield. So in case I'm careless and I drip glue, it's not going to drip on the paper. And oftentimes I do get careless, especially when I'm trying to move too fast. Okay. That's it for the first piece. This goes aside to dry. Okay, this is piece number 3. So as usual, I will air dry this and then move on to the next step. Okay, everybody, here's the next portion of this video. This is cardstock, and I've cut some random pieces here, and I'm going to use them as stencils. So this is acrylic raw sienna. I'm going to use a smaller brayer. Okay. As usual, I'm going to put some marks here. And these are not reusable, so in a way it makes it a little easier. I don't have to wash them. I may reuse them, but I'll see how it goes. Because paper stencils tend to fall apart. They're not strong like the plastic ones. So here is the first collage. And since this has been registered carefully, I know that the image, the printed image will coincide with the collage. Now the procedure for registration may seem very tedious and labor intensive, but you do it once, and if you do it right, it will pay off with successive printings. Okay, let's see what we have here. Pretty cool. Okay. As you can see, it's 1.5 inches on the right and 1.5 inches on the left. It's 3.5 here and it's 4 inches here, just like I measured. So on to the next. So on to the third one. I'm going to see if I can reuse these. I'm going to take advantage that it's sticky with the paint on it. Okay, so these three get air dried and I will think about what's next. Here's the second print. Let's see if I can capture this ghost with this third one. I'm sure the image will be a lot fainter because it's a ghost print, but I'll give it a try. I think it worked. Check this out. So I will air dry all three pieces and then contemplate the next step. Okay, the bronze color has dried. Now I think I will add some of my warm-up exercises. Okay, that's it for the third piece. So again, I will wait till this dries and then decide what the next step is. Okay, everybody, here's the last leg of this video, my favorite part, where I get to show you the final result. Here is a close-up. And as you can see, it looks very complex. It's a combination of layers of collage and paint and hand-drawn elements. Actually, there's only 1, 2, 3. There are only 3 layers plus the fourth and last layer, which is the hand-drawn element. But it does look like a very complicated image, which I was aiming for. So that's the first piece. Here's the next piece, which was the ghost print. Again, the collage elements give a lot of content to the piece. There's a lot going on in such a small area, which is a good thing for me. I think it makes the piece a lot more interesting. That's the second piece. And here's the last piece, piece number 3. I think the warm-up exercises work very well with this piece. It has a limited palette, but by doing that it becomes a stronger piece. Now let me show you something I have done before. Let me show you how I sign. So traditionally in printmaking you use a pencil. I don't know why, but it's just a tradition. So I put the title, which is Monoprint Collage. And since this is a unique image, it's a set of 3, but they're all different from each other. So I do 1/1, which is one image in a series of 1. And then I'll sign my name and the date. So that's how it's signed. So I hope you like this video. I showed you how to do a registration for the prints. So next time you do your prints, all the layers will line up without any problem. Just make sure that these bars don't move. Just make sure that they are affixed securely to your table, to your work table. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for all you wonderful supporters and wonderful people who have purchased my work, because that means a lot to me, and the proceeds go to help keep this channel going. I hope to see you next time.